Has the songwriting, the process of songwriting changed over the years, or the dynamics of the band changed, the way you write together?
I mean, I think it's solidified in ways, you know, like I do the lyrics. It's like, you know, Dunk writes a lot of the songs because it comes really easy to him, whereas Luke's has written more songs than ever. So they are quite a different process, you know, they're quite different, but we kind of know how, you know, you kind of know that it might be a bit tougher to kind of, for the, you know, a longer gestation period for one of them, whereas with just like really quick. And that nature of, you know, each person in the band has their own kind of musical personality. You know, when Tom comes to put the drums on something, you kind of know what you're going to get, but then he always surprises you with how good it is, and you're like, yeah, that's very Tom English. You know, in that sense, I do believe that we know ourselves a little better, but at the same time, it does always change. You know, like
I mean, that's the thing. There's no definite process. We still what we're doing, but then you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want us to cause and then the next one. You know, like a band to collaborate and we can all write songs on our own, but we're writing songs that none of us would be able to on our own because we're all adding different surprises, all of us.
Yeah. What part of the process? The recording, or is it the touring? Or?
It's a very difficult answer to answer because there are aspects of both of them that I really enjoy and both of them that are kind of dull and tedious. And that's the same with anything in life. You have to focus on those good. Touring is very physically demanding, mentally demanding as well because they're in past songs and you have to whip yourself up. They become almost a kind of weird extension of yourself, a kind of exaggeration, which I don't mind, you know, because it helps people understand the songs. We're there to communicate, but it's quite a responsibility to have.
It does look physically draining up there. To see.
You know, it's tough, and you know, if you say that to people, you're like, what, playing in a band is tough? Well, they obviously haven't seen us live if they say that. You know, you can understand that point of view. So you can't really say that it's a negative thing. Really, it is what it is. You know, songs force you to do so, infiltrates your body and your kind of mind when you're out there, and it feels like everything's take for that hour and 20 minutes on stage each night. And so that's quite a challenge every day. But at the same time, I like challenges, and that's also the flip side of it. If you put on a go, people respond to you immediately. You can hear them enjoying what you're doing, and that's very. And you know, you get to see so many amazing. But the flip side of that is travel and put up with idiots in airports, or you know, air conditioning annihilating your face. You know, on a regular basis. Like we didn't sleep last night because we drive overnight in San Francisco, and we've got to do it again and make sure that it's as good as last night.
Soundcheck.
Yeah, it's all, you know, you've got to tweak everything so that it's as good as it can be. So yeah, obviously that's quite a repetitive act. But being in the studio, you know, it has those moments of real inspiration. It's great to sort of hear it being completed before your eyes. It's good to collaborate with people. I really enjoy working with producers, seeing what they can bring to the table, and just having your musical dreams realised. Yeah. You know, it's an amazing experience. But obviously there's a lot of waiting around, and you know, the songwriting process, as we've already discussed, is long. Write a song by yourself, it's not necessarily going to be the best song in the world. You're doing it by yourself and you just record it on your computer. You get that instant gratification, which, you know, in our band you very rarely get. But it's, you know, what you get at the end of it is potential, and so you have this kind of push and pull, being, you know, a bit fed up some days and being really inspired other days. But I do like, I mean, once the songs are written, being in the studio is a really amazing experience. Waiting around's fine because you book, you know, you can go around the city that you're in, wherever you're recording or whatever location it is. Again, that's a kind of a blessing that a lot of people don't get when they're everyday jobs. You know, this is really appreciate if you possibly can. Just sitting in the corner waiting all the time when you're recording and when you're on tour, when you're waiting for soundcheck to happen, you're waiting for the gig to happen after soundcheck. Yeah. You can try and lock out of that and be valuably. Then it's tricky. Then you put it in. You do little bits.
I'd like to take you back to what first got you into music. You know, when you were growing up, what type of music were you listening to? What made you want to, you know, start a band or join a band?
My dad is quite more of a classical music growing up and hearing, but that didn't then obviously as a teenager you grow up listening to, I don't know, I could never, you know, I enjoyed playing piano, but guitar, so music, and then I just started to discover the band Faith No More and the bands like Stereo Lab, you know. But yeah, it's not until I left home the band might be a viable thing to do. All through university I was, it's just a bit weird as a keyboard player, the guitar player and the singer, bass players and drummers. The keyboards are always a bit, you know, they have to kind of force their way in, while I'd just kind of, because they're in, you know, it's very kind of Britpop stuff. Just by the time I was at university, I was electronic music. So the bands I was in, I was in the kind of, I mean, and this is what happens in our band as well. The keyboard was fighting for space, you know, the kind of trying to do the job. That's just what happened. The band, what it is in a way.
Are there any keyboard players that you admire? Get your inspiration or your like their style?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. It's hard. It's hard in when you're in a band. I mean, I remember listening to Trent Reznor, Chanel stuff, and he's trained, you know, a player. And Downward Spiral, that record, the way that he kind of combined a musical motif, expanded it over a whole record, appealed to my kind of the way that I'd kind of been taught.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as a live act, it was a complete thing like that. You know, it's a very emotional and passionate sort of thing. So where you could combine these two very disparate elements.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not very often you see keyboard. I never looked at a keyboard player and gone, I want to just do so.
What about you, Paul? What were you listening to in Billion?
Lots of things. I was always obsessed with music, and everybody, you know, were like, "Oh yes."
Did you ever have a set with an album cover painted on the back?
I didn't. I had a sort of head. Do you remember? Because everybody had one. I had a folder when I was at. I was kind of a very angsty teenager, and when I was kind of 12, when I was sort of Pearl Jam and kind of grunge, but I really loved stuff like Crowded House and George Michael. I've always been a fan of melody. When I think the earliest sort of influence would be the Beatles' love songs, which my parents tape of in the car, and I would do the harmonies without, you know, realising what exactly, but I would always kind of do all the little high, and I still do that on road journeys to everybody in there. But it's just something that I enjoy sort of singing along to stuff, and I always did. You know, I got into, you know, anything that had a kind of romantic sort of angsty to emo was kind of in there. You know, and I read all the music magazines and all sorts of stuff, like, you know, stuff 4AD and kind of Rough Trade stuff like this. Like, they were kind of the alternative stuff that I was enjoying Division, and then on the other hand, I still Crosby, Stills, and so Neil Young again. Just melodies, everything is melodic.
Was that an cover you started on your soundcheck?
Yeah, Dunk's a big Neil Young fan. He loves his choppy guitar style. Yeah, we when I was
growing up, doing a cover version.
Well, I did do Cowgirl in the Sand by myself once with my friend Susie, who was in a band called Silver Fox. We did a few gigs. We did at an art exhibition in Edinburgh. This was around the time that I felt a bit more confident to sing in front of people, which I'd never sung before I joined Maximo. I got into a band, playing with my friends, just with in a band called Me and the Twins, and we just played instrumental music gigs because they knew we got a drummer to try and make the loud bits louder. And we ended up playing lots of gigs, cinemas, projections of stuff that we used to film stuff on Super 8 and find slides and stuff, and play this kind of post-rock music. Again, that was probably the other main sort of like that, really. They led me on to all the American bands. Stuff on Thrill Jockey taught us. He was like totally into instrumental stuff, and I hate vocalists because they're always too big and had nothing. And then, when I was asked to be in the band, that was kind of one of the sort of premises that I wouldn't be one over, but everybody in the band was with that, you know. Whereas I think other people are less accepting of. But I'd kind of written lots of other styles of lyrics, you know, and tried stuff out and never sang them to anybody, and just thought they're not very good. The ones that work are the ones where I'm from the heart, and kind of was influenced by stuff like I singing about. It was very, very cool music. The way, you know, I felt that sort of singer-songwriter. I thought maybe our band is maybe a bit more unique, between a kind of fast sound and lyrics that are maybe occasionally introspective and a definitely aesthetic question to other people kind of get into the music. It's very specific. But yeah, I mean, I certainly never wanted to be in a band because those were all rubbish in Newcastle or Middlesbrough or wherever you were from. You were like, God, I'm not another guy who was, you know, in the football team at school, and then he's got a Liam Gallagher haircut now, and he's in a band going, oh yeah, man, yeah. You in a Manchester accent. Stuff like that was exactly what Maximo Park meant to combat, and as a kind of antidote.
Still exists.
Well, this is it. It still winds me up, because you're like, people should just do, be themselves, and try not to hate other bands and stuff.
So where do you see you going next? Maximo Park. You've obviously got the rest of the tour.
This doesn't make this record that we're really happy with, and we still haven't toured it really. It came out months ago because we've been doing lots of festivals and coming here. We've kind of been doing the similar set because we've not been here for 5 years, and there'd be a lot of people who haven't seen us before, so we're trying to sort of give them a taste.
A new album or a old stuff?
Well, tonight it'll be a mix, but when we get back to Europe and the UK, it will be a national health tour. The first time we toured those songs, and it's kind of hard to see beyond that at the moment, because even though the tour, the gigs are mainly sold out, and it's hard to know what's going to happen. Are people just going to hear the old stuff? Is the new stuff going to go down better or worse? And that'll give you a sense of kind of where we're at really, where our momentum is. It's kind of you always want to feel like you're progressing all the time. And it might. It's just hard to say. I would say we've got at least another record in us. And I think we want to kind of, because we've taken a break, it was quite a long break. We'd like to keep on touring through most of next year as well as possible. But we also want to write, which is something we're not particularly being very good at, touring and writing at the same time. So we'd like to try and put something out in the new year. That means kind of writing and recording very soon. But yeah, I think we feel like having gone away and come back and have a bit more of a sense of what we're about. Songwriting is hopefully a little bit easier and be a bit more confident with it. We had a really interesting experience recently where we went on the Express with Damon Albarn's kind of African musicians and Western musicians, and I don't know how that'll affect us, but it made us realise that the only thing stopping you from writing is yourself in a way. There shouldn't be any kind of barriers as to writing songs and continuation with this kind of slowly growing in the band, and who we are. 4 albums down the line, you're getting more a sense of where you are in the world and holiday.
I think it's the experience within the band, or just life in general. You get to a certain age, and you get to a point where you feel comfortable with yourself, who you are.
I'm sure that's a lot to do with it. Band with children now. You see life in a slightly different way. Songwriting is quite an important thing for us. It's something that we always want to improve on. I don't think that'll ever go away. Touring, we might just kind of, as we get older, we'll just kind of might have to draw a line at certain things that we can do, just like we physically can't.
Yeah, well, that's it. You don't want to be this sad old man, kind of trying to recreate something. Yeah, I think you should do whatever feels natural to you, and I certainly can't see myself in 10 years' time doing the same kind of high intensity show that we do at the moment. And I don't think the music will remain as kind of frenetic. It will still have the kind of emotional intensity, the kind of melodic intensity, something that really hopefully affects people if we continue to make music together. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I just, it feels right now, but as I say, I see it. I think we all want to do different things, but keep progressing. Or seeing something like that in 10 years' time would feel kind of natural now. I don't know, maybe I'll get a new lease of life and I'll kind of create violin lessons and things like that. But just, it feels like there is a kind of zest and there's a kind of still a youthful exuberance about the band. And we're not going to try and artificially sustain that. it's still there now, so let's use it. Let's use it to create more music and to make exciting live shows. But let's try evolve and keep moving in a dignified, appropriate manner. Again, don't think about it too much, but yeah, things always keep changing very subtly.
So I'd just like to finish up with a few sort of quick questions, just off the top of your head. What would you, outside Maximo Park, what would your ideal band lineup be? Who would be playing drums? Who would the rest of the current band?
Oh dear.
And the question coming in next as well.
Yeah, so with the same lineup. Well, okay. Well, we were on the Africa Express tour recently, and I would definitely have Diabel Sissoko playing the chorus because he was awesome. And yeah, I mean, the Permian Nina Simone doing a kind of duet backing vocal thing. You wouldn't want her as a backing vocalist. I don't know, Nick Drake playing acoustic guitar or whatever, and then Jimmy Page doing solos or something. Drummer Lee Von Helm from the band. Don't think there's been many better drummers than him. Bass player Paul McCartney, will get him in for his melodic bass lines. Then you've got Larry Graham from.
I think I'd say Larry Bass.
No, definitely not. No. Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone and Graham Central Station. Keyboards. Let's see. We could have. I don't know. Sweet. Well, I wouldn't mind having something more modern, something kind of like. I don't know. Panther the Prince or something like that. Something with a kind of really. I don't know where I'd fit in this. I wouldn't be the man for the job. As far as.
What else? I saw a keyboard and was a kid demos. He was doing a very moody thing, but like obviously he's technically amazing. Kind of back, crying and whine as well. Probably think. Voice and his guitar and his sister looking vocals. I don't know. I like riffs. I like Tony Iommi. Yes.
Any unfulfilled ambitions, Maximo Park, that you still want to achieve, or that you haven't done yet?
I don't know, it's weird that I think there's so many songs we could write, some different songs. It'd be great if we could get to explore all these different things that we could possibly do. In terms of styles, just trying things out. I don't want us to get too traveled so many places left.
Yeah, we might go to Iceland.
Yeah.
But again, that's more of a personal ambition.
Yeah.
The band is probably the easiest, most likely way of it happening.
Yeah.
But I would say I try not to have these ambitions because if you don't reach them, we've always tried not to have any goals and just try and play to as many people as we possibly can to do the best that we can every night. On a very broad level. Because that's it. If you say, well, I'd love to play the Hollywood Bowl, and you see the bands doing it who are kind of contemporaries of yours, you'd be gutted, and you'd be like, oh, why are they there? That's the sort of mentality that you would end up having, and it would be really sad. So, if you look back at the things that we've done some great things, but again, looking back doesn't help you. This year, being on the Africa Express tour, for example, that to me is as good as anything.
Well, that's the thing. I think anything that takes you out of the usual band, they're all great things to do. Like Dungeons TV in America and stuff like that. But anything that takes you out of the usual kind of path of being around like the African Express thing, collaborating with people in their wildest dreams, meeting people. Doing just stuff like we played the Albert Hall, and we worked with some brass players and some string players and kind of rearranged the songs, orchestrated the songs. To me, that's great. Anything we can do that's outside the usual kind of band thing.
Yeah, I've just collaborated with one of my favourite poets, which is just It's just bizarre.
Just going down undiscovered avenues.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote a short story. I'd forgotten about that, and then the other day I was like, oh yeah, I wrote a short story for a book of musicians writing stories, and it's printed in the independent newspaper, and it's the kind of one that they've selected out of the book. And you know, I could probably quite happily just retire now, you know, with things like that.
Yeah.
But these things keep happening at the moment. You know, as I say, we're still abandoning our in creative. In our creative setting, in a way, you know, and that's still the case. You know, there's ups and downs, but you know, I still think that we have the ability to write superb songs that are as good as any that we've written in the past. And having that belief makes you still feel kind of vital. And as I say, all these other things keep happening, and so other people must agree. And in a small way, and go, yeah, these guys are worth, you know, collaborating with, or whatever. You know, people just take you out of your comfort zone. You know, doing solo records, but not leaving the band. You know, having your cake and eating it. You know, not many people get to do that, or are in a position to. And you know, you're very lucky, really. You don't think I need to. You know, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be like that. I mean, there are certain things, you know, I'd love to put out another solo record, but that's not really an ambition. It's just something that I write lots of songs that don't for Maximo Park. You know, 5 people might buy it or something, but you know, it's not like an ambition. It's kind of like a need. You know, it's like, you know, I want to write another Maximo Park record, and I want it to be, you know, and that's thinking when you band that. I think
it's time to be your best. Great. Well, long may your success continue. Thanks for your time, Paul and Lucas, and I look forward to the gig tonight at Rey Theater.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for your